welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a stunning wedding cake. You can buy a wedding or birthday cake. And here I've got my double barrel cake, which I've already ganached and iced, and I will post a link to my tutorial on how to do this in the description box below. And for today's tutorial, what I've got here is I've got some edible printed icing sheets, and they're still on the backing sheets, which I'm going to show you how easy it is to get those off. I know a lot of people struggle with them. And because it's a quick and easy cake, I'm also using silk flowers, which you can get at any of your home stores. And I'm also using a gold mirror laser cut topper. This will just help you finish your cake off nice and quick and easy without any hassles. And also I have got some white wooden spoon margarine, and I will show you what I'm going to do with that shortly. First, what we need to do is we need to cut the paper. We need to trim the white edges off here and just make sure that it fits nicely on the cake. So that's the first step I'm going to do. And I have a ruler and I have a craft knife, and I'm just going to line that up and just cut down the edge. And just trim all the white off. Make sure that your hands are nice and dry. You don't want any water on your hands, because if any water goes onto the print, it will damage it. It will leave a nice big fat watermark. So make sure your hands and your equipment is nice and dry. Now I've purposely left this thin white edge here, and I've done that because I need to still take this off the backing sheet. So I'm just going to trim the other one first, and then I'll show you my little secret tip on how to do this. Right. Especially when it's warm, you will struggle to get your backing sheets off. So the best way to get them off is you actually pop them in the freezer. Pop them in the freezer for about 30 seconds. And I'm going to do that now. You can see it's not coming off nice and easy, and I don't want to damage my print. So I'm going to quickly do that. Take them out, and then you'll see how nice and easy they pop off. While the icing sheets are in the freezer, I'm just going to prepare my cake. And what I do, instead of putting water or piping gel onto the sugar paste itself, I use a bit of white margarine. This is much easier to apply your sheet to the cake, and you can still maneuver it a little bit. So I'm just going to soften a little bit of it in my hand and just start applying it to the cake. Just make sure it goes all around, and you can smooth that off once you've got it applied to the cake. I'm not putting any on the top because I haven't got any icing sheet going on the top. Now this will help stick the sheet to the cake. Just smooth it all in, all around. Now this cake I iced yesterday, so the icing is nice and firm on it. Don't try and do this when the icing is still soft. You'll damage your cake. I'm just going to smooth that all the way around. My hands are clean. There we go. That's prepped the base. And onto that we can stick our sheets. Right, just going to wash my hands now and take the sheets out the freezer. Okay, so I've taken them out the freezer, and you can see how easy it is to get that backing sheet off. And you can just remove the trimmed edges. They should come off as well. There we go. Right, let's just take this one off as well. Might just need to cut those a bit. Oh, they are coming. You need to work quite quickly because they reach room temperature very quickly and become very soft again. Right, now this first one I'm going to place onto the cake and just slide it on. There we go. Make sure all your equipment is dry. Just smooth that on nicely. And we can take the second one. I'm just going to carefully just trim that again because it's not cut right through. Okay. Now I'm going to trim that piece that I didn't trim initially, which is why I needed to leave it on to be able to get it off the backing sheet. And we place that one on there, line it up with your other one. Just need to trim that down a bit. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to stick that down with a little bit of more white margarine, just so that it laps nicely down the side. Now around the edge here where it's still white, what I'm going to do there is I'm going to use one of my molds to do an edging around the side, just to hide that the whiteness of the cake. Alright, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make an edging to go around the top of the cake, and I'm going to be using a mold to do that. And I have colored some sugar paste with a goldish color. And the reason I've colored it gold is because the undertone of your sugar paste, if you're painting gold over it, you want to try and have it either a yellow or a gold color. And likewise, if you're using silver, go with gray, and if you're using rose gold, go with a slightly peachy or an orange color. It just helps it to cover nicely when you're painting. Okay, so we're going to start off. And then I've got my gold paint here from Sugarcraft Supplies and a little bit of white alcohol. So to start off, I'm just going to roll a sausage, and I'm just going to place it in the mold. And then I'm taking my palette knife, and I'm just going to rub a little bit of this petal base on the knife, which will help it glide through the paste nicely and cut it nicely. There we go. Then you pop that out. And there's one of the edgings, and then I'm just going to make a few, and then I'm just going to place them on there just now. Probably need about 3 or 4. I'll just see how we go. This cake is all about quick and easy and speed. Right, so what I do now is I turn this over, and with a little bit of water, or you can use petal glue, I'm just going to adhere this to the side of the cake. And it'll just finish off that gap at the top. Just make sure I put enough on there. Right. You take it and we place it on the top there. Careful not to stretch it, otherwise it loses its shape a bit. Next one, and that slots in there. Next one, and perfect. Even it up. Oops, let me just fix it there. And I'm going to paint this gold, and then we're almost finished. Right, now I've got my gold dust. You can see it's in dust form, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of white alcohol to that, and it becomes a nice gold liquid. There we go. All right. And now we can paint the edges. Okay, now we finished painting that. Now we can just go and we can touch some of the leaves that are on the print with a bit of the gold, just to add a little bit more detail. All about the detailing. it's ready for us just to place the flowers in the topper, and then we're done. Right, so now we're going to place the flowers and the topper, and we're going to finish it off just with a ribbon around the base of the cake. And because these are silk flowers, you don't have to worry about any contamination into the cake. If they were fresh flowers, I would wrap them with florist tape, and I would use a straw to put in the cake, and I would put the flowers in there. So I'm just going to cut this down a little bit. Right. I need to find the front. Okay. And I'm just going to insert that into the cake. Beautiful color. Make that stem a little bit shorter. Okay. And then we can place our topper. There we go. And lastly, we're going to place some ribbon around the base, find the front of it, and secure it with a pin. But please remember to tell your clients to remove the pin. Don't use a pin without telling them. You can also secure it with a little bit of glue. And I'm just going to do a nice bow. There we go, and then that's going to go on the side where the join is. And you can trim it. And there we have a beautiful, quick, easy to decorate wedding cake, birthday cake, or whatever celebration you would like it to be for. Thanks for joining me today, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you like my tutorial, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. See you next time. Bye.